Okay, good morning children. What the first year English medium, fifth chapter continuation, morphology of foreign plants. Morphology of flowering plants. Okay, continuation. So especially yesterday class we completed up to gynoecium completed. Okay, now today class we are going to discuss about the fruit, information about the fruit. Okay, so yesterday we will discuss about the fruit. So especially fruit contain mainly fruit wall and inside seeds are there. Here especially you can see the fruit wall is called pericarp. The fruit wall is especially called pericarp. Pericarp. The fruit wall is called pericarp. Either the pericarp is fleshy or dry. Suppose the pericarp is fleshy means they are having three membranes. But what are the three membranes? In yesterday class we discussed, especially epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp. Epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Okay, so suppose if the fruit layer which is called epicarp, if the epicarp is fleshy, the epicarp having mainly three layers, that is the outer layer epicarp, middle layer mesocarp, inner layer endocarp. Okay, inner layer endocarp. So here especially based on this character, especially based on the character of the pericarp, especially fruits are mainly divided into two types. The first one is fleshy fruits and dry fruits. Fleshy fruits and dry fruits. Fleshy fruits and dry fruits. Now today class we are going to discuss about the fleshy fruits. How the fleshy fruits are divided. So the fleshy fruits are in mainly 5 types. Fleshy fruits mainly having 5 types. Especially here you can see what are the 5 types. Okay, fleshy fruits are mainly divided into 5 types. But what are the 5 types? Here you can see clearly. Berry, one is berry, second one drupe. Okay, one is berry, second one drupe, third one asperidium, fourth one pome, fifth one pepo. So these are the different type of the fleshy subtypes of the fleshy fruits. One is berry, second one is drupe, third one asperidium, fourth one pome, fifth one pepo. So these are the different types of the fleshy fruits. Now one by one we are going to discuss that. So first we are going to discuss about the berry. So before going to the berry, generally you got an idea, especially you can see in the mango fruit, and also you can see in coconut. Especially in mango fruit, you can see, three layers are there. Epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. But especially here In the fleshy part, eatable part is mesocarp. Endocarp, which is very hard. Epicarp is a peel-like structure. Whereas in coconut, mesocarp is fibrous substances. Mesocarp is a rich in fibrous substances. Okay, so especially the first one, berry. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the berry fruit. Best example of the berry, guava, grapes. Best example, guava and grapes. Okay, etc. Guava, grapes and tomato also. Guava, grapes, tomatoes. Especially for what is berry? So here monocarp and endocarp are fused to form pulp. Monocarp and endocarp. Monocarp and endocarp. These both are fused. These converted into pulp, especially mesocarp and endocarp. Mesocarp and endocarp both are fused and form a pulp-like structure. Okay, these seeds are very hard, especially in this berry fruit. Mesocarp and endocarp that are converted into pulp-like structure. Here the seeds are very hard. So this is about the berry fruit. Best example, guava, grapes and tomatoes. These are the best example to the berry crops. So generally, how these berries are developed? Generally, these berries are developed from multicarpellary Syncarpus gynoecium. Multicarpellary multicarpellary Syncarpus gynoecium. Multicarpellary Syncarpus gynoecium. From these multicarpellary Syncarpus gynoecium, these berries are developed, especially best examples guava, grapes, tomato. Especially in these berries, mesocarp, middle layer, and endocarp, both are converted into pulp. The seeds are hard in this berry. Now coming to the second one, drupe. Okay, now what about the drupe? So generally, especially in cucumbers, generally you can see, especially in cucumbers, the epicarp is very ridge. Epicarp is very, especially in cucumbers, especially in cucumbers, epicarp is rind. Rind means hard structure. Epicarp is rind. Okay, especially in cucumbers, epicarp is rind, and mesocarp is fleshy. Endocarp is smooth. Mesocarp is fleshy. And endocarp is smooth. Okay, especially in cucumbers, epicarp is rind, means hard structure. Mesocarp is fleshy. Endocarp is especially smooth. It is developed from tricarpellary multilocular inferior ovary. These cucumbers are developed from tricarpellary multilocular inferior ovary. These cucumbers are developed from tricarpellary, three carpels, tricarpellary multilocular inferior ovary. So this type of the fruits, especially we call pepo. This type of the fruits, especially we call peponut. This type of the fruits, especially we call pepo. Best example, cucumbers. Now coming to asparagum. What is asparagum and what type of the arrangement of the fruits are there? Best example asparagum citrus. Best example of the asparagum citrus. Especially you can see in the citrus, this is the characteristic feature of the all the citrus plants. Especially the epicarp is leathery. Epicarp leathery. Leathery epicarp. Epicarp is leathery and they have many volatile oil glands. They have many volatile oil glands. They have many volatile oil glands. Especially in citrus, epicarp is leathery, which is having many volatile oil glands, especially. Okay, this type of the fruits, especially in citrus, we call asparagum. This type of the fruits, especially we call asparagum. Okay, and here you can see epicarp is leathery and volatile glands. Mesocarp is paper-like substances, like a paper-like substance. Mesocarp is a papery, and endocarp walls. The walls of the endocarp bear smooth, fleshy hair-like structures, juicy hair-like structures. Okay, especially in citrus, epicarp is leathery, which contain volatile oil glands. Mesocarp, the papery mesocarp, and the endocarp, which is having juicy hair-like structures. So this is the characteristic feature of the citrus fruit. This is belongs to the asparagum. So citrus belongs to the asparagum. Okay, next, this citrus developed from multicarpellary syncarpous multilocular ovary. Multicarpellary syncarpous multilocular ovary. Multicarpellary syncarpous and multilocular ovary. Now coming to the pome. What about the pome? Okay, what about the pome? Best example apple. Pome, best example apple. So especially in these pome you can see the fruit developed from inferior ovary. The fruit developed from inferior ovary, and that is bicarpellary or multicarpellary gynoecium. Bicarpellary or multicarpellary gynoecium. Ovary is inferior ovary, especially, and it is surrounded by fleshy thalamus. Okay, it is surrounded by fleshy thalamus. Here thalamus is fleshy-like structure. The true fruit is there inside. Inside the true fruit, which is surrounded with the fleshy thalamus. The true fruit which is surrounded with fleshy thalamus, and especially you can see endocarp is cartilaginous, heart-like structure, heart shell-like structure. Endocarp is cartilaginous. So this is about the pome. Next example, apple. Especially in these apple, you can see the fleshy thalamus. Okay, this is about the pome knowledge. So far we discussed about the 5 types of the fleshy fruits. One is berry, second one drupe, third one asparagum, fourth one pome, fifth one pepo. Okay, especially drupe, already we have to discuss now. Drupe, mango. Best example of the drupe, mango and coconut. Before we discuss it. Okay, drupe examples, mango and coconut. Okay, in this mango and coconut, you can see the mesocarp is fleshy, which is edible part. Endocarp is a hard shell-like structure, and epicarp is a layer-like structure. Best example, mango and coconut oil. In the coconut especially you can see mesocarp having fibers in coconut. So these are the 5 subtypes of the fleshy fruits: berry, drupe, aspergillum, pome, pepo. Berry example guava, grapes, tomato. Drupe example mango, coconut. Aspergillum example citrus. Okay, pome example apple, pepo example cucumber. So these are the 5 different subtypes of the fleshy fruits. But based on what character we classified the fruits into 2 types? Based on the characteristic feature of fruit wall, that is pericarp. Fruit wall. Based on the characteristic feature of fruit wall, fruits are divided into 2 types. Either the pericarp is dry, that are dry fruits. Either the pericarp is fleshy, which is divided into 3 layers. So that type of the fruits are called fleshy fruits. So this is about the fleshy fruit classification. Next, dry fruits. Okay, the pericarp is dry. In some fruits, the pericarp is dry, which is not fleshy. So based on that character, dry fruits also categorized into few types now. So you can see classification, subtypes of the dry fruits. Subtypes of the dry fruits. Okay, subtypes of the dry fruits. Okay, dry fruits. Dry fruits. Okay, subtypes of the dry fruits. Here, based on the character of the pericarp, we can classify the dry fruits into several types. Here, pericarp is dry, which is not fleshy. Especially, you can see the example, best example in groundnut and mustard. The pericarp is very dry, which is not fleshy. Best example you can see in mustard seeds, mustard fruits, mustard and groundnut. Especially you can see in mustard and groundnut. So these are dry fruits. These are dry fruits now. These dry fruits, especially in these dry fruits, they may break open and liberate the seeds. Generally in dry fruits, they may break out and they can open the seeds which are present inside the fruits. The fruit coat here break out and liberate the seeds. Sometimes the fruit coat unable to break up, it is disassociated, it is degenerates now. It completely destroy. The fruit coat completely destroyed and the seeds are released. So based on this character, either the fruit cover, the fruit layer, either it is break up or it may not break up. So based on this character here, we can see 2 types of the fruits are there. Okay, dehiscent type and indehiscent type. Dehiscent type and indehiscent type. Indehiscent type. Dehiscent type and indehiscent type. In dehiscent type, in these dehiscent type, the fruits may break up and liberate the seeds. But in this indehiscent type, fruits may not break up. These are destroyed. The fruit cover layer is destroyed, degenerate, and they can release the seeds. So based on these property, here you can see 2 types are there. 2 types are there: dehiscent type and indehiscent types. So in this indehiscent type, seeds liberate after degeneration of the pericarp. Pericarp goes to degenerate, means destroy. After the degeneration of the pericarp, means fruit layer, then seeds are dispersed. Seeds are liberated. So that is indehiscent type. Whereas in dehiscent type, the pericarp that may break up and seeds are released outside. Okay, so here especially the fruits of peas and beans which dehisce dorsiventrally, especially the fruits of peas and beans in which the pericarp dehisce means break up dorsiventrally and release the seeds, especially in peas and beans the pericarp dehisce and the seeds are released. Okay, the pericarp is dehisced dorsiventrally. The pericarp dehisced dorsiventrally into two equal halves. Pericarp dehisced dorsiventrally into two equal halves. Then the seeds are dispersed, liberated. So best example for that peas and beans. So here again these dry fruits are mainly divided into few types. In that the best you can see legume, what we discussed here, legume. Okay, legume means here the pericarp dehisce dorsiventrally, okay, and which is divided into two equal halves, then the seeds are released. So that type of the fruit is called legume fruit. Best example fruit beans and peas. Pericarp dehisce means break up dorsiventrally. Pericarp breakups dorsiventrally means two equal halves. Then the seeds are released. So that type of the fruit is called legume. Okay, na? Next capsule. Next one capsule. In this capsule, the pericarp dehisce differently in different ways. Not a proper way, not a dorsiventral way, not an equal halves. Especially in this capsule, you can see in this capsule the pericarp dehisce different ways and the seeds are released outside, not in particular manner. The pericarp dehisce means break up in different manner and then the seeds are released. Best example datura. Best example of these capsule, that is the datura and also cotton. Datura and cotton, these are the example of the capsule. Legume example peas and beans. Okay, next third one, what is coreopsis? Okay, especially you can see in grass plants, coreopsis. Generally you can see in grass plants, best you can see in paddy. Okay, they are single seeded. Okay, they are dry indehiscent fruits. The fruits are dry and indehiscent, means they may not break up. Dry indehiscent fruits and are usually single seeded and are different types. Single seeded fruits only. All fruits having only single seed, but the fruits are dry indehiscent. But how the seeds are released here? So the pericarp and seed coat fuse together. The pericarp here, especially in this, the pericarp and the seed coat both are fused. So that type of the fruits generally you can see in especially grasses. Best example paddy. Both the pericarp, the fruit layer and the seed coat both are fused. So that type of the fruits generally you can see in paddy. So that is known as coreopsis. Next fourth one, nut. Best example cashew nut. Especially in this nut which develop from multicarpellary syncarpous unilocular ovary. Cashew nuts best example, nut fruit best example, cashew nuts which are developed from multicarpellary syncarpous unilocular, only one locule is there. Multicarpellary syncarpous unilocular ovary. Nut best example cashew nut. But especially here you can see the pericarp is stony. The pericarp is hard stony like structure. Especially in the nuts, fruits you can see best example cashew nut. Pericarp is which is very hard stony like structure. So that is about the nut. And especially Cypsela, next type nani Cypsela. Cypsela. Okay, in this Cypsela, best example you can see Tridacus. Best example you can see Tridacus. Okay, but what is Cypsela type of the fruit? Here in this Cypsela, the single seeded fruit, they having persistent, the group of they having persistent pappus like calyx. They have persistent, the fruit is single seeded, but the fruit is single seeded, the fruit having persistent pappus. Here you can see pappus, persistent pappus like calyx. Calyx is appear like a pappus like structure, which is persistent, which is for a long time, which is permanent. See, fruit is a single seeded that having persistent pappus like calyx. You can see in Tridacus, that type of the fruit is called Cypsela. That type of the fruit is called Cypsela. The persistent pappus like calyx, which is long time, which is permanent. Persistent means very long time. The persistent pappus like calyx you can see in Calotropis fruits. The fruit is having only single seeded. So best example Tridacus. That is Cypsela. Okay, this is the fifth one, that is Cypsela. Next, Scytocarp. Sixth one, Scytocarp. But what is Scytocarp? Best example Acacia. Scytocarp best example Acacia. Okay, especially in this Scytocarp, Acacia and Castor, the fruits are split into one-seeded bits. The fruits are split into one-seeded bits. Especially you can see Acacia and Castor. Acacia and Castor. You can see the fruits, especially Acacia and Castor, they are split into one-seeded bits that are called mericarps. Mericarps. Especially in Acacia and Castor, they split into one-seeded bits. Each one-seed bit is called mericarp. Mericarp means so many small fruit-like structures are there. Each small fruit-like structures they are having inside the seed. So here, especially in Acacia and Castor, they split into small single seed bits that are called mericarps. So this type of the fruit is called Scytocarp. Especially you can see in Castor and Acacia split into one-seeded bits. The each one-seed bit is called mericarp. So this type of the fruit is called Scytocarp, which is the sixth one. Next, especially you can see custard apple. The carpels are many and free. Each carpel is apocarpus. Okay. So here, especially you can see custard apple. Especially you can see custard apple. In custard apple, especially you can see the fruit is developed from multi-carpellar. Okay. Especially the carpels are many and the carpels are free. Carpels are not divided. Carpels are free here. So apocarpus. carpels, many carpels are there which are not fused, which are very free. These carpels are not united. Many carpels are there, these carpels are not united. So that is called apocarpus. Apocarpus. So these carpels, each of the carpel develops into small fruitlets, a bunch of fruitlets. You can see in custard apple, bunch of fruitlets are there. Why? Because many carpels are there. These carpels are not united. These carpels are free. Okay, apocarpus, and these all carpels are developed into fruitlet. So such a bunch of fruitlets are called aggregate fruit. So this type of the fruit is called aggregate fruit. Aggregate fruit. Why? Because they are having many carpels that are not united, free. Carpels are free. That is called apocarpus, and each one develops into fruitlet. Each one develops into fruitlet. Each one develops into fruitlet. So the bunch of fruitlets you can see in custard apple. So that type of the fruit which is having bunch of fruitlets. Each fruitlet having seed. So the bunch of fruitlets. So that type of the fruit which is having bunch of fruitlets. So that type of the fruit is called aggregate fruit. Best example you can see in custard apple. Okay, in pineapple and jackfruit you can see entire inflorescence is converted into fruit. That type of the fruit is called composite fruit. That type of the fruit is called composite fruit. That type of the fruit is called composite fruit. Best example, jackfruit, especially the complete total inflorescence is converted into fruit. That type of the fruit is called composite fruit. Best example, jackfruit and pineapple. Jackfruit and pineapple. Jackfruit and pineapple you can see. Jackfruit and pineapple. The bunch of total jackfruit and pineapple, the total inflorescence is converted into fruit. So that type of the fruit is called composite fruit. So after fertilization, ovary is converted into fruit, ovules are converted into seed. But what about here? Ovules are converted into seeds now. Each seed is made up of seed coat and embryo. Each seed mainly contains seed coat and embryo. The embryo is made up of embryonal axis, and the embryo is having embryonal axis and having one or two cotyledons. In the dicotyledons, embryo having two cotyledons. In monocots, embryo having only single cotyledon. So this is about the complete information of the fruit and seeds. So far we completed 5th chapter. Okay, thank you children.